Chapter 5. From Violence to Videos. It has become conventional, as I have noted, to separate mathematics into two distinct subdisciplines labeled pure mathematics and applied mathematics. This is a separation that would have baffled the great mathematicians of classical times. Carl Friedrich Gauss, for example, was happiest in the ivory tower of number theory, where he delighted in abstract numerical patterns simply because they were beautiful and challenging. He called number theory the queen of mathematics, and the poetic idea that queens are delicate beauties who do not sully their hands with anything useful was not far from his mind. However, he also calculated the orbit of Ceres, the first asteroid to be discovered. Soon after its discovery, Ceres passed behind the Sun, as seen from Earth, and could no longer be observed, unless its orbit could be calculated accurately. Astronomers would not be able to find it when it again became visible. Months later, but the number of observations of the asteroid was so small that the standard methods for calculating orbits could not provide the required level of accuracy. So Gauss made several major innovations, some of which remain in use to this day. It was virtuoso performance and it made his public reputation. In Gauss' time, it was possible for one person to have a fairly good grasp of the whole mathematics, but because all of the classical branches of science have grown so fast that no single mind can likely encompass even one of them. We now live in an age of specialists. The organizational aspects of mathematics function more steadily if people specialize either in the theoretical areas of the subject or its practical ones, because most people feel happier working in one or the another of these two styles. Individual preferences tend to reinforce this distinction. Unfortunately, is then very tempting for the outside world to assume that the only useful part of mathematics is applied mathematics after all. That is what the name seems to imply. This assumption is correct when it comes to established mathematics techniques. Anything really useful inevitably ends up being considered applied, no matter what its origins may have been, but it gives a very distorted view of origin of new mathematics of practical importance. Good ideas are rare, but they come at least as often from imaginative dreams about the internal structure of mathematics as they do from attempts to solve a specific practical problem. Strings vibrate much too fast for the naked eye to see any one instantaneous shape, but the Greeks found important evidence for the idea that a string can vibrate at many different frequencies. They showed that the pitch depends on the positions of the nodes places along the length of the strand which remains stationary. You can test this in a violin, banjo, or guitar when the string is vibrating in its fundamental frequency, that is, with the lowest possible pitch. Only the endpoints are at rest. If you place a finger against the center of the string, creating a node and then pluck the string, it produces a note one octave higher. If you put finger one-third of the way along the string, you actually create two notes. In 1714, the English mathematician Brooke Taylor published the fundamental vibrational frequency of a violin string in terms of its length, tension, and intensity. In 1746, the Frenchman Leron Delambert, showed that many vibrations of a violin string are not sinusoidal, standing waves. In fact, he proved that the instantaneous shape of the wave can be anything you like. In 1748, in response to D'Alembert's work, the prolific Swiss mathematician Leonhard Euler. Here's a key learning insight about forms of violence to videos. The evolution of technology from traditional instruments like violins to modern digital media like videos demonstrates the transformative power of innovation and its impact on human expression, communication, and connection. Thank you for watching.